Welcome to sewing class. I'm Annette Julie, and today we are working on darning and patching. So we are working specifically on patching a slit hole, and this is part 2 of this video. So please watch part 1 of patching a slit hole. So we have the slit. It's just a thin little cut. It's not a circular hole like our first demo. And this is the wrong side, and we have prepared our swatch and our patch, and that's going to go on the wrong side. Also on the wrong side of the fabric, we're going to go ahead and put our fabric on the fold with the slit on the fold, and I'd like you to go ahead and draw a line that's 1/8 of an inch away from the slit line. You're drawing this parallel, and then 1/2 of an inch above and 1/2 of an inch below. I want you to mark that. And then connect that 1/8 of an inch outline to the 1/2 inch mark above. It's going to end up looking like a point at the top and the bottom. Here we go. This looks really good. Now go ahead and grab some pins. You need 2 to 3 pins. And I'm going to go ahead and pin perpendicular to my slit. Okay, this is all on the wrong side of the fabric. And I've got a couple of pins in there. So let's start up here at one of the points. And we're going to start right on the edge of the fabric, and we're going to come onto the fabric. Now we're going to come down parallel. And we're going to end at that point. Now, I first did that with no back stitch, but here's an option. You can do a back stitch, but have it like be not right at the tip. Have the back stitch go up. Okay, now the other end, I just left thread legs. Another option is to take the thread legs and go ahead and tie yourself a square knot. Okay, so you have 2 different options on how you're going to go ahead and finish the end. A square knot or that back stitch. This is all on the wrong side. Now I want you to go ahead and iron and press that dart, looks like a little dart, to one side of the fabric. So this is the shape of a dart. We've completely covered up that slit with that stitch. And now you're going to press this to one side and make this nice and flat. Try not to press a pucker at either end. And you're on a hot setting with steam. And I press this to one side, trying to eliminate puckers at the end. So work on pressing it nice and flat before you sew the patch. That's the right side of the fabric. There's the wrong side of the fabric. You see the example of the square knot, and down here, the back stitch. Now we're going to take our swatch, and you can see that our swatch is a 1/2 inch longer, at least on both ends, and a 1/2 inch wider if we center it at least on both sides. And that's how it should be. So let's go ahead and center our patch. And this is on the wrong side of the fabric. You're going to go ahead and grab a couple of pins, and let's pin all the way through. And you have the patch centered over the slit. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and start sewing. And we're going to be sewing an edge stitch. Make sure that you pull the fabric out so we eliminate any puckers. We're going to start up here in the corner. We're going to drop our needle down right into the corner there, and let's remove the first pin. And we're going to be sewing an edge stitch all the way down to the bottom corner. Remove the pin. Coming to the bottom, let's walk the last stitch or two. Okay, let's pivot. So presser foot is up, needle is down, drop that down, and let's do the edge stitch to the next corner. And it looks like we can go a little bit further. Let's do one more stitch or a 1/2 of a stitch. And we are covering a slit, which is just a little cut. It's not a circular hole. Now that looks a little bit better, ready to do that edge stitch, but let's trim these threads so they don't get in our way. Looks good. And you want to make sure at the top that you're pulling this out flat so we have no puckers. Let's go ahead and pivot. And pivot, and we have to finish with a little back stitch. So forward and back, and we have finished our slit patch. Let's go ahead and trim our threads nice and close. And on the other side as well. And this is what the right side of the fabric would look like. Just the top stitch with the slit closed. And here's the wrong side of the fabric with the edge stitch and the back stitch here in the corner. And that is the end of the demo for patching a slit hole. This is Annette Julie. See you in the next video.